Hi there and welcome along. Well, crop circles, just what is going on? Well, I'm here to shed some light on the phenomenon, so without further ado, we'd better get underway. Most people are fascinated by the sheer magnitude of patterns on display in crop circles, and the design is nothing short of breathtaking. But there's a clear distinction to be made between the genuine crop circles that are definitely not man-made and those that are poor quality crude imitations that most definitely are man-made. Genuine crop circles are largely in excess of 600 feet in diameter. All of them are created in a matter of seconds or maybe a minute or two. Crop circles are not true circles but slightly elliptical. The term crop circle is far too simplistic and does not do justice at all to the phenomenon. Richard Dolan, historian and academic and one of the world's leading UFO researchers, says, "Some of these formations are so impressive and so complex as to defy reason, and after all these decades, no perpetrators have ever been caught in the act of making any of the truly extraordinary formations." In genuine formations, the stems of the wheat and barley are not broken but merely bent, normally about an inch off the ground, near the plant's first node. These nodes act as a kind of ligament. They allow the plants to bend towards the light even after they've grown to their full length. In the early 1900s, the American biophysicist William Levengood discovered that plants inside crop circles often had much longer nodes than those in the undisturbed surrounding crop. This fact alone defeats the hoax argument, since a plank or a garden roller would flatten the crop to the ground, snapping the plants. Bent nodes are nearly impossible to do by man-made means, being able to hold a 45-degree angle on all of them. Scientists believe that the plants have been subjected to a short but incredibly intense burst of heat, enough to soften the plants but not burn them. They fall at 90 degrees where, as they cool, they reharden, undamaged and alive. Plant biologists admit that they're completely baffled by this, but it is the surest way to identify a real crop circle from the crude hoax. Scientists agree that the effect could be simulated by placing normal, healthy stems inside a microwave oven. The heat induced by the crop circle creators clearly made the liquids inside the nodes expand, just like the mercury inside a thermometer. This caused the nodes to increase in length, proportionately to the amount of microwave energy that was being generated. This finding led to the conclusion that the node lengthening effect may be caused by the involvement of heat, possibly microwave radiation. In fact, traces of heat have been found many times in crop circles all over the world, such as dehydrated plants and slight burn marks. Not only are the crops gently bent over at 90 degrees, but they are layered, facing different directions, as if to allow every stem to continue to grow. Whoever creates these circles is not damaging nature. On the contrary, they're going to great lengths not to harm it in any way. It's another visible, clear distinction between the genuine and the crude man-made fake. Eyewitnesses to crop circles forming speak of shafts of light descending from the sky and touching the crop below, or in other cases, the circles are formed by clearly visible orbs of light hovering and zooming around to form the incredible patterns. Within a matter of seconds, the circle, however complex, is complete. At Stonehenge in 1996, an RAF pilot declared nothing to report when flying over the area of the monument at 4:15 p.m. But only 15 minutes later, a second pilot reported a huge 900-foot formation. It contained 149 different circles and was aligned along a spiral curve. It lies within full view of the very busy monument. It took a team of 11 people 5 hours to survey the formation. Here is a triple formation that was formed at another location a few weeks later. Despite its huge size, it's completely perfect in its symmetry and aspect. And finally, a six-leg formation. Scientists say that it clearly represents the sacred spiral, a very important mathematical phenomena which shows itself in many forms of nature: spiral galaxies, spiral seashells, plants, etc. It's worth looking at this for a few seconds just to try and take in the absolute complexity of the work. It also accurately represents the fractal known as the Julia-Set computer fractal, hence the name. It makes sense that these circle makers are trying to convey the communication of both the spiritual and scientific concepts of the universe in order for us to understand the interconnected nature of ourselves and all of reality. Now, people have experienced strange yet wonderful sensations when entering a crop circle to examine it. There are corroborated reports of one investigator who was suffering from a dislocated shoulder and was undergoing weeks of physiotherapy, spending all day surveying a circle, and when he emerged from it, his shoulder was completely healed. He's a scientist, and his doctor confirmed the recovery, and it's not an isolated incident. Several people have reported feeling uplifted after working in a crop circle, and many report the healing of minor ailments. Now, often compasses don't work inside a crop circle. Mobile phones are erratic. Many animals avoid crop circles for many days after they've formed. The water table level drops beneath a crop circle, and cameras sometimes get fried inside them. And crop circles largely appear at the intersecting points of the Earth's magnetic pathways of energy, otherwise known as ley lines. Based on the evidence, most researchers agree 95% of known crop formations are not man-made. The complexity in math and beauty is hard for it to be man-made. On the ground, a simple circle has to be a complex shape to appear as a circle from the air, because the ground is never fully flat. The human butterfly crop circle, here it is, the largest known crop circle, with dimensions of 1,738 by 1,476 feet. This crop circle is considered to be the work of aliens, as it is humanly not possible to carve out such an enormous figure on the field just by using rope and wooden planks. It cannot be done. But crop circles are not a new phenomenon, nothing close. They've been documented for millennia and have been found in Russia, Japan, Spain and the USA and Canada, to name but a few. And the appearance of these circles is not confined to crops. True alien-constructed crop circles are also depicted in prehistoric stone and wall carvings, such as the spiral patterns carved in the stone at Newgrange in Ireland. These carvings are dated at 3200 BC. Newgrange is a burial passage tomb of the Neolithic period, and many people visit Newgrange at the solstices. But the earliest documented evidence of crop circles is in the Dead Sea Scrolls, written well over 2,000 years ago. As with any phenomena that man cannot fully explain, crop circles have their share of debunkers, and a couple of fraudsters too. Photoshop also has its share of culprits, as this image shows. So whether it's orbs or shafts of light emanating from spacecraft, most people now agree with the scientific evidence and conclude that crop circles are extraterrestrial in construction. The evidence, both practical and scientific, in favour of a higher intelligence being the creators of crop circles, is overwhelming. It is our seemingly inbuilt inability to conceive a higher intelligence than our own that plunges us into abject denial of anything that requires such thinking. Even if the scientific evidence points to the contrary, man's cultural inability to conceive a higher intelligence than his own will one day be seen as perhaps his greatest folly. Perhaps we should forget the films and teleprograms about aliens being vicious and nasty, who only want to destroy, take over the planet and wipe us out. I think in those things we're reflecting our own, mankind's, continual path of war and greed. Those in other worlds have evolved past these things and are allowed to traverse the galaxy by those even higher evolved. Much more on this in future videos. But what if we stopped calling them aliens and called them our sky brothers and sisters, as the Native Americans did? We wouldn't be so scared. Maybe they're trying to tell us something very important. Perhaps they're saying that the time is now for us to become a peaceful planet without wars and greed. If only. Well, that's about it for now. If this video has the seekers and the curious searching for more, then this is the channel for you. Be good to each other, and I will see you soon. Bye bye now.